everybody. It's Kim Dudash at Dudash Farms, and it's Friday, so you know what that means. It's time for What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms, and Brian and I are excited to spend the evening with you. We are planning on preparing I guess it's an Italian dish. Hey Mom, Dodie's watching. Hello. We're planning on preparing, yes, food. Scott Hurst says food. That's right. So we are here ready to prepare our meal at What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms. It's an Italian dish, and if I can say this straight, this is like a what is it? A tongue twister. So it's pesto pasta with pork. That's a lot like Sally sells seashells by the seashore, right? So say that 5 times fast. So it's pesto pasta with pork. And Brian and I, Robert Lee says, happy TGIF. Yes, Robert, thank you for watching. I've missed you. Robert is in California, you guys. So thank you for watching. So pesto pasta with pork.
And homemade pesto.
And it's going to be, that's right, Brian just said, it's going to be homemade pesto, y'all. So it's none of that powdered stuff that you add liquid to, that you get in the store, that has all kinds of additional ingredients you can't pronounce or chemicals. This is all stuff that we have gotten either from our garden or they're all natural. So we are excited about bringing this to you guys. And you know what we realized? This is our 15th What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms. 15th. And our season has not been canceled. Isn't that funny? So Jan, hey Tom. Tom is here from the Virgin Islands. I love you guys. Mom says be careful. Right? I know that could be really dangerous. Pesto pasta with pork. All kinds of things could come out with that. Okay, so I'm going to show you where we are so far. Actually, I'm in Boston. This is what Robert Lee says. Actually, I'm in Boston, though wherever I am, it's always glad to see you, Kim. Thank you, Robert. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and so we're all in the same time zone at this point, which is great. Okay, so let's get started on our pesto pasta with pork. Let me show you what my wonderful sous chef has done so far. So let me get this off here, and we'll show you what we got going on. So we have put our pasta on, and tonight we're using rotini pasta, and we're using it simply because it really holds the sauce a little bit better than spaghetti noodles. And we've done this with spaghetti noodles in the past, and it has been fabulous, but we think this might be a little bit different. So you could really use any type of pasta that you want to use. And then we are using our pork stir-fry strips. And let me show you this. So Brian and I have, or Brian, I shouldn't take credit for any of this. Brian has cut these pork stir-fry strips into smaller chunks, and he's going to brown that. So he's putting it in a skillet with a little bit, just a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of garlic.
And a little salt and pepper.
And a little salt and pepper. Okay, so he's going to get that started. And so I have a question for you guys. A little bit of trivia here. So we are, like I said, we are using our pork stir-fry strips, and it is cut from the shoulder of the pork, which is also known as the Boston butt. And my question to you is, do you know why they call the shoulder of the pig, of the pork, a Boston butt? If you have a clue, or if you have a guess, I want you to put it in the comments. And we have the Workavics here with us tonight. Thank you guys for joining. So tell me what you think. So like I said, our pork stir fry strips, they actually come from the shoulder part of the pig. And the shoulder is also known as the Boston butt. I bet you guys thought that it came from the butt of the pig, but you know what? The Boston butt is actually the shoulder. So how in the world did it ever become known as the Boston butt? Do you have an idea? Tell me in the comments. So as I said when we first started, this is our 15th What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms. Can you believe that? And so I thought this would be a great time for us to maybe look back at some of the things that we've done and see if you guys have questions about it. So our very first, hello Joanne Langton. I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you back with us. So our very first one was hamburgers with our beef and pork combo mix. And then we did barbecue with our pork roast using the crock pot. We made some great pulled pork with that, which was great. And then we did egg roll in a bowl with our ground pork. And then we did a beef roast in our crock pot. Sharon Manning says, hey Kim, how long will you have pork? Sharon, we should have pork for a while. I mean, I'm glad you asked that question. We actually, at this point, we have great stock available. So if you guys are looking for anything, now's the time to reach out to us because we have just about 95% of everything. Scott Hurst, they don't know that head from the butt. Yeah, Scott says they don't know their head from their butt in Boston. But might be true, but here I've got Robert Lee watching and he's in Boston. So shh, Scott, shh. Be nice. So let's see. So we did egg roll in a bowl with our ground pork. We did a beef roast in the crock pot. We did spaghetti with our Italian sausage. We did a tri-tip roast on the smoker. We've done pork belly tacos. We've done grilled kebabs with our beef stew mix. We did brats on the grill for the 4th of July. We did pork chops in the air fryer. We prepared beef ribs, and that was also in the smoker. Yep. Is that correct? And then we did stuffed peppers with our ground beef, and we grilled some T-bones, which were great. And there was a great question, actually, that came through the page today asking, well, what temperature did you do, what temperature was your grill for those T-bones? And it was around 400 degrees, and we don't cook them long because with grass-fed products, you don't want to cook them very long. You want them to be really good and not overcook them. And then last week, we did a beef stir fry with broccoli. So it's all good stuff. So let's see what we got here. Robert Lee said, it's okay. It beats looking for a map. That's funny. All right. So nobody has given me any guesses about why they call the pork shoulder a Boston butt. So let me give you a little bit of trivia information and educate you a little bit. So, here's what we learned. In colonial days, in New England, the butcher took the less prized pieces of pork or the cuts of pork, which really the shoulder was considered a less prized piece of pork or cut of pork, and they packed them in barrels and they shipped them off to states like Virginia and North Carolina. And the barrels that this pork was shipped in, they were called butts. So that's how our shoulder cut of the pig became known as the Boston butt. So now you know something you didn't know before, right? What we're making tonight, pardon me? Yeah. Okay, go ahead and start. So tonight we're making pesto pasta with pork. We're gonna go ahead and start our pasta. Our pesto. See, I told you guys, this is way too hard for me. My brain is so simple. So we've already started our pasta, Now we have to start our pesto. So let me take this off and I'll take you over here and show you what we got going on. All right, Brian.
So we're using our food processor. We have about a cup of basil, fresh from our garden.
See that, y'all? Fresh basil from the garden.
The recipe that we got from BettyCrocker.com
There you go, Betty Crocker.
called for 3 cloves of garlic, so we're going to use 5 because we know we like garlic.
You know, at Dudash Farms, we do garlic.
Half a cup of Parmesan cheese.
Half a cup of Parmesan cheese. You know what? We sound like Dr. Zorba and Tom. I repeat everything. Half cup. All right, go ahead.
Half a cup of olive oil.
Half a cup of olive oil.
And a third of a cup of pine nuts.
Okay, a third of a cup of pine nuts.
So you don't cook this or anything else, you just put it in the processor for 3 minutes.
Did you hear that? So we don't cook it, we just put all of those ingredients in the food processor, and since Brian is putting it in the food processor and this thing is really, really loud, I'm going to move to the other room and we're going to talk about some other stuff. Whew. See, I wasn't kidding. That food processor is really loud. So if you didn't catch that, for our pesto, we are using all natural ingredients. So it's not getting some, you know, packet from the grocery store and that basically is powder and has so many ingredients in it you have no clue what's in it. We are using basically basil from our garden. We've got the pine nuts, olive oil, Parmesan cheese. What else did he say was in there? And garlic. Okay, garlic is our staple. So he's mixing that up in the food processor. Takes about 3 minutes. So yeah, and I wanted to say, and this actually, it's really kind of cute because this really drives Brian crazy. So I don't know if you've ever done a Facebook Live, but there are times when there are so many people who are at it at the same time that we can't really see who is there. So I don't want anyone, or we don't want anyone to feel like that you're being ignored. We love you guys. We love spending Friday evenings with you. So if I don't mention that I see that you are here, please know that we love you and we so appreciate you watching. And there are comments that come through so quickly that we can't speak to them while we're live, but we just absolutely love you guys and just wanted you to know that every single one of you as a customer or just if you follow our page, we just appreciate you guys so much. I do want to say that I see that Crystal Bacon is watching, Joanne Langton is watching, Cheryl Strunk is watching, Donna Hill, Cox is watching. Donna, we love you, and Gary, we hope you're doing good. We haven't seen you in a while. Richard LeBlanc, Richie, you're watching. We want to say hello to you and Angela. Mary Beth, hey, happy birthday, girl. The big, should I say it on camera? I'm going to. The big 50. I hope you're having a great time. And she is actually celebrating her big 50th birthday in Las Vegas. So I hope you guys are having a great time. I saw your pictures. Can't wait to see more. Jerry King is watching. We appreciate you, Jerry King. Thank you for watching. I have to have notes. So I told you guys that we are using, hey, Carolyn Clark. Carolyn has joined us. Carolyn, we're making, if I can say it right, pesto pasta with pork. Brian is mixing the pesto right now, but it's really loud, so I've come out on the porch for a little bit. We're using our pork stir-fry strips, but we have cut them into smaller chunks. We've snipped them into smaller chunks, and that's what we're using for this. But I will tell you that you can also use pork chops or even pork loin. You can cut that into smaller chunks. And then, if you don't like pork, you can use this recipe and you can add chicken or you can add beef. So, you can basically add whatever you want, whatever you like. Let's see. So Brian and I, we actually, for the first time, made this pesto a few weeks ago, and we loved it so much. And we love the fact that it is just all natural. And we put it in the food processor, the ingredients that we listed. Basically, again, just to recap that, it's fresh basil, it is garlic, pine nuts, and olive oil and Parmesan cheese, and that's it. That's all it takes. Mary Beth Williams Burns says, girl, it's 115 degrees here. I'm glad I'm here, Mary Beth. And then thanks for the birthday wishes. You're welcome. I hope you have the best birthday ever. You deserve it. And of course, Mom Dudash is watching, so hi, Mom.
Hi, Mommy.
So there we go. Brian is finished with the pesto. We no longer have all the noise. Salmon too. That's right. Mary Beth says not only can you do this with pork, chicken, or beef, you can also use salmon. Yeah, you can use any type of meat you want to use. Brian Kieran is where, hey Brian, I hope you and Kimberly are doing good. And that sweet little baby. We loved getting to visit with you guys. So Brian, where are we?
So we're mixing the pesto with the pasta.
Oh, let's turn this around before I move. I'm going to give you guys vertigo. All right, so what Brian has done, now that we've got the pesto mixed up, and our pasta is complete, is done. He is adding that to the pasta. Here we go, and he's gonna mix that all together. That looks good. Oh, Mary Beth says, hey, Brian, I love pesto. Mary Beth, you're going to have to come over and have dinner with us sometime. We'd love to. We'll make you some pesto. And I tell you what, he's a great cook.
And it smells great.
It does smell great. Here's another reason why I wish we had, like, smell-o-vision. So for those of you who are just joining in or who have just joined us, what we're making tonight is pesto pasta with pork. We're using our pork stir-fry strips. So you see how easy this is, and we're just mixing it all together. Yep. So you put your, you cook your pasta, and we have used spaghetti before, but tonight we're using rotini. And we made some homemade pesto with some ingredients from the garden, and I'd love for you to watch the replay to hear those ingredients, and we'll even post it. I know I said I would do that last week too, and I didn't, so I will do that if you really want it for the beef stir fry with broccoli. So he's put the pork in there, so now he's just going to put it on the plate. How lucky am I that I have a guy that loves to cook, ladies? You know, check that out. Doesn't that look delicious? Carolyn Clark says, gosh, that looks delicious. Yes to smell-o-vision, right? And Sharon Manning says, sounds and looks wonderful. And look, just to make it look a little more beautiful and to add some flavor, we're putting some sun-dried tomatoes on there. Michelle and Billy, that looks so good. Yes, it does. And I'm so ready for dinner. Leanne Jacobs says, how did you cook the pork? Okay, that's a great, great question. And Carolyn says, you are lucky, and Brian is too. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you. So how did we cook the pork? Basically, we just put a little bit. Our pork products and our beef products are so lean that you're not going to have a lot of grease in your pan. Even if you cook the ground beef or the ground pork or the sausage, it is going to be, you're not going to have anything to drain off. It is that lean. It's so delicious. So we put a little bit of olive oil in the skillet, and we just basically put it in the skillet and we brown it. We put a little bit of garlic with it, a little bit of salt and pepper, and basically just brown it, Luann. That's all we had to do. It's
simple
so,
and easy.
so simple. Everything we do around here is simple and easy. It really is. Not a lot of work. Let's see. Don't want to. Reese Sexton. Hello, Reese. please hug Marie's neck for me and tell her that I miss you guys. It's so good to see you. So yeah, I mean, that took us all of 15 minutes, gang. That was it. So let me make sure what else I have to tell you. Of course, I have to remind you, I did that. So of course I have to remind you that we will be at the farmer's market tomorrow, right? The Dandridge Farmer's Market. We're downtown Dandridge. Can't miss us. If you see little yellow tents, you are there. All of our vendors will be there tomorrow, so we're really excited about that. We have Sandy Ridge Vineyards. They will be there, and they have been having for the past couple of weeks their grapes. They have seedless, they have seeded grapes.
Yep.
Y'all, they look beautiful and they get gone really fast. So if you're interested in getting some grapes from Sandy Ridge Vineyards, you need to come and get them tomorrow at the Dandridge Farmers Market. And also we've got little Lila and, oh my goodness. Bella Kate, oh my gosh. Bella Kate and Lila, they have their eggs. They also have lots of produce. You all come out and support them. We have Laura Wall with Found a Pearl Farm, all of her great pastries and breads. She'll be there tomorrow. Hill House Farm will be there tomorrow. They will have some lettuce and carrots and all their wonderful, wonderful things. I think they also said they have lots of green beans still and cherry tomatoes. We've got John Mueller, who is our wood crafter. He'll be there tomorrow. We've got Greta Holbert. She's a soap maker. She has beautiful products. Come out and support Greta. Jim Holbert has lots of produce, and he uses no chemicals in his what would you call it, farming, I guess. And of course, Dudash Farms, we will be there. We have just about everything in stock, so come and see us. Martin Farms, we've got Pete and Shirley and Angie. They'll all be there tomorrow. Lots and lots of produce still available, and their stuff is beautiful. We have House of Douglas, and they also make pastries and cakes and that kind of thing. And then we also have Adam Hopkins and Chicken or the Egg. So if you're looking for farm-raised chicken or farm-raised eggs, he's got them for you. So come out and support us. Let's see what else we've got. Scott Hurst says, enjoy your dinner. I plan to, Scott. I'm really excited about it. Roberta is watching. Hey, Roberta, I hope everything's good with you. And Tom says, great 15th show. Thank you, Tom. We haven't been canceled yet. We're very excited about that. Thanks to our sponsors at Dudash Farms. So we're doing good there. Is there anything else, Brian?
I think you did good.
I think I covered everything. Y'all, I'm hungry, so I'm going to go eat. So we'll see you guys next Friday. Thanks for joining in. We love you guys. Thanks. Bye.